first do that, when I first come into the room, I put my sheet down here. I turn on this just because it takes a couple minutes to heat up. The water has to be at least a minimum to there, but it's a little bit empty, but it should be up to the max. So every morning I come in, I fill that up. So then you have your pot of hot water, because there's not much hot water in here. It's just so much easier to do this. You fill this up to the minimum. Plug it in. Push that up. So that'll take like a minute. So now I take this little cup, I have the decongestant cleanser, and then I also have the moisture cleanser. What I do is, some people just do this one, I usually do like one or two, and I mix it up. Just that will mix. Then I go here, and this is for the enzyme. So I use the softening gel first. I put like maybe 2 little pumps in there. You don't need a lot of this, so try not to waste too much, but you only need a tiny, tiny bit. Hey, Renee. No, you can come in.
Do you have 35 glycolic?
Yes. 35.
Thank you. And then can I get your salute too?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Thank you.
take it. It's good.
Something.
Yeah, the glasses are in here. So I mix, so this is the cleanser. I'm going to warm it up so you don't have to put cold stuff on their face. This is the enzyme. It's sort of like a, it helps eat away the top layer, softens the skin, so when you do the extractions, easier. So then I take my little pot here, fill it with the warm water, put this in, stir that up a little. So usually I take, my stuff out so I'm ready. I take a couple of the 4x4s here, take a couple of the 2x2s. And so what I first do is I take, they're lying down here, I use this makeup remover, or I also have the equalizer in here. So sometimes I just kind of wipe their skin first, so I just go a couple. I wipe, and then as I waste some time doing that, just so I can wait for this to heat up.
Okay.
Then sometimes I put gloves on when I wash. Depends on their skin. I don't want to have any contact sometimes, only because it's so much stuff going on. Like I would wash my hands first, but I still sometimes when their skin is so active and sore, I just kind of keep the gloves on just to prevent any more bacteria or anything. So that this is all warmed up, I take this out. Cleanse, you know how to cleanse? Then I take this, I put this in there. After I'm done cleansing, I put this to be warmed. I mix this up with my brush. I always add it into the warm water so it's never cold. Stir it up. And so it looks like there's really not much in there, but honestly you don't need a lot.
Okay.
And then I just kind of put a thin layer on their face. This is the face. And then when they're here, I wait for the steam up for about 10 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how much time you need to extract. So some people have a lot of extractions, so I try to keep it to like 5 to 7 minutes just for the steam. And so while they're steaming, I basically just clean this up. I always use Cabicide all the time. Cabicide for everything. So I rinse out this, and then I start getting ready I get the gloves again, if I didn't put them on already. Put this always, every time it touches the face, I put it into the Cabicide, everything. This I'll dump out, Cabicide this. I know I'm a germ freak, but I like it to be really super clean. So this is done, so that'll just kind of turn off on its own. So now for the extractions, you can either use the tool. I think Val uses the tool a lot. I don't have any tools in here.
Do you?
I don't always use the tools. I use the cotton tips here. I kind of like it, so I usually just snap these out, put those down. I use this usually. It's a little bit less intense. So after they're done steaming, let's pretend they're done steaming. I take the 4x4s, clean everything off, and then you just get the light. I don't know my light. They stole my light. Oh no, it's behind. You put the light. You get your glasses if you want the glasses, and you extract for the next 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. After that, I cleanse again with just the water, just simple, because their face is going to be, there's blood, they're really red. I usually will ice them for a couple minutes because they're really, really red and swollen. So I usually tell people after the facial, it's probably going to be about 3 to 5 days. You can have some redness and swelling. It's extreme, but not always.
Okay.
Not always. It does sometimes take up to a week to recover from that facial.
Would you tell them before you even start
Yes,
extractions?
so I always say before I even take them back, especially if you don't know them, I say, is this your first facial, or have you had it before? What was the recovery like? And then I say to them, if this is their first time, I say, okay, it'll be swollen, red and swollen for about 3 to 5 days, but after that it should help clear up, your skin will be much better, but it does take some time. Sometimes if they're like, well, I have a big event, and then I'll say, okay, maybe you should reschedule or reconsider, because I can't promise that it's going to be perfect.
Right.
And it depends also, you'll be able to tell by their condition of the skin. If it's really, really severe, they're going to be red and swollen. I mean, sometimes with acne-prone skin, it's so sensitive that as soon as you touch just one thing on their face, it blows up. So they just need, as long as you tell them that, they're going to be fine. After I put some sunblock, I'll usually either the Revision or whatever sunblock I have in here.
Okay.
Always sunblock afterwards before they leave, and then an ice pack. And then that's it.
So, other than that, do you ever put any?
Nothing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Every once in a while, if I think that they need, sometimes if it's really, really inflamed and I have a couple extra minutes, I'll do like the mask. I'll heat it up and I put it on for like a couple minutes just to kind of calm it down. Like sometimes it just, so this is like the ultra rich creamy therapy here, and I'll warm it up. It's not that often I'll do it, but if I think that I have a few minutes and their skin doesn't have too many extractions, but their face is like really like, oof, I'll put that on and I always warm it up again. And most of the facials, they go through insurance. So the front desk is pretty good at telling you, just so you know that in the end, and there's different codes, and I'll go over the codes with you. But it's usually every 4 to 6 weeks, whatever the doctor recommends, and they can come back in 4 to 6 weeks to do it again. They probably can't do it sooner than that, unless the doctor recommended it. But usually the insurance is 4 to 6 weeks. If it's out of pocket, then you have a little bit more flexibility. You can do the mask if you wanted to, or they have no real extractions. You can play around a little bit with the products, but for the most part, it's just a simple, basic cleansing. Mm-hmm. So
Now you mixed the enzyme with
the softening gel. Mm-hmm. So these two are a little pair. And then you can pick what you like for the cleansing. You can do both. You can do one. You can do
Okay.
I just do a little combination because it's fun. Why not?
Marina,
Yeah.
the camera is connected looking at here.
Yeah. So what do you want me to do?
When you're moving later on to here, if you change the direction of the camera, so we film the relevant issues, and that's it.
So that is the basic facial. Do you done extractions before?
Now I have used the tool. I also have used like for my fingers.
You can
I
try
mean,
like if you think as long as it's not leaving. If that works for you, you like it. Go ahead. I mean, everyone has their own way of doing things. Like Dana does not like this way. I like it. I think it's such a good way to do it. But you'll pick what you want to do, and when we have people to come in to volunteer, I know we have some of the MAs, they're like good to practice on. And everyone has such different skin, so when you see all the facials that you're going to get, everyone's different skin. Sometimes I have the tool, I have this,
like the whole.
I play around because I don't know all the time what I'm going to use. Sometimes it's better to use this, sometimes you have to use also if they have some milia, you can extract with this. So I always have like everything in the drawer ready to go, and
everything's. Most rooms are pretty much set. Most facial rooms pretty much
should be.
Okay.
Yes, but this is the prettiest of all.
You're going to have your own room, so.
This will probably be her room, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess.
And you just remove cleanser and enzyme just with 4x4.
Yeah, the 4x4 with the water. I always try to keep the warm water. Everything feels better.
Yeah.
It feels better, and their skin usually is really, really inflamed. So, I mean, every time you get a facial, you're going to know that it's never like. It's pretty severe. And most times I write my notes severe, moderate severe. It's never, very rare that I'll say, oh.
Like it was.
Yeah.
Now product-wise, if they're using.
So that's another thing. So most times you're going to get the acne facials, they're on medication.
Okay.
So your job on your own time here is to kind of go over, I'll give you a list of like typical medications, and you just, even if you listen to the doctors a couple times when you follow them, but you should know, Tazarac different, things like that.
Yeah.
What they're using, because you don't want to add in anything to their routine, really. I mean, they have their routine. You're just there to do the facial. And that's it. Every once in a while, if you want to, when you get more experience, you can talk to them about like the salicylic acid peel. This one is great for acne prone skin, but it doesn't go into the facial. It's $40.
Okay.
So most people that do the facials, they don't really want to add in anything more.
They're
They're there for the facial, free,
Okay.
get out. That's
Okay.
how they think about it.
Okay.
So Val is really the queen of adding. She really is good at getting them off the facial and doing peels.
Peels.
I don't know how she does it, but she's good at it. So when you ever watch her do it,
Yeah.
she's good at
Yeah.
switching it up.
Okay.
But this one, we can practice with this one, but we'll talk about the peels
Okay.
after. But any other questions with the facial? I can find an MA and we can practice.
Yeah.
Just so you can see it.
Just the whole.
Once you do it a few times, you're
You're
going to be
fine.
fine.
Can you
Yeah.
explain here the difference between acne facials and facial extraction?
Well, the acne facial goes through insurance, and the regular
No, extraction.
the extraction,
I think I think the extraction go to no
the acne facial is only for
insurance.
insurance.
Okay.
Mhm. And then the elective one, or just the regular 30-minute facial, which is that? What's that called?
There's acne facials and
Mhm.
extractions. Acne extraction.
So there's one I'll show it to you in the system. There's one that's just they're both the same price. One goes through insurance and it'll say acne surgery
Okay.
in the notes, and that's when you'll just type that one in, and there's a special code for that. But we'll go over the codes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go over the codes when we get to that point. And
the
then
acne facial goes through insurance.
and then there's another one, I guess, extraction. It's a facial just for
It's
extraction.
exactly the same procedure.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's
Exactly
nothing.
the same.
Okay.
Now again, you have a little bit more leeway. You can do the mask if you want, but it's really just simple.
They're here to
It's
get.
the same procedure, but when you mention it, you say it's going to be insurance covered. You have to realize that most of people have deductible,
Okay.
so they are going to pay for it regardless.
Yes, it's never just really for free.
Okay.
But in our mind, like when we're doing it, you're putting it through insurance. The front desk usually will give you a heads up just so you know how to do your own note.
Okay.
It'll say submit. I'm sure if I look on the schedule now, there's some facials and it'll say in the billing code, it'll say submit. And then if you don't know for sure, you can always go back into the note and I'll show you how to do that when we get to the computer.
Okay.
It's easy.
And when you present it, I don't know if you are the one who present it, but if you are telling them that they have an option to have it covered by insurance, you have to make sure that they understand that if they have deductibles, they are going to pay it from their pocket after all.
So the front desk, again, usually is pretty good with that when they schedule it. They're pretty on top of doing all of that. So when they come in and after they've already scheduled it, they know that it's either they're going to put it through insurance, there's a form they have to fill out up front. And if it's out of pocket and they have the deductible, they have the choice, and it'll say out of pocket.
Okay.
So usually they are on top of it 99% of the time. Every once in a while I have to be like, oh, I don't know if you can do it. And then I just run up either 85 or they can go through, and then I go and usually ask the front desk just to make sure.
Okay.
But anyone just can't come in and say, oh, I want to put it through insurance. They have to get a diagnosis code from the doctor.
Okay.
They can't just be like, oh yeah, I want to put it through
I wanna put it
insurance.
through.
Like
It doesn't
it's
work that
impossible.
way.
No,
Okay.
you have to have the code, and if the doctor doesn't even have the code in it, they can't put it through insurance.
Gotcha.
So usually, if it's acne, they usually prescribe it, and it's 90% of it is really smooth. So there's a couple
Okay.
issues here and there with people with their insurance, but again, the front desk really is on top of it. They're
Okay.
pretty on top of it because then it's not good if it's not.
You would spend roughly. If someone's like.
So when it's really severe, you mean for the extraction part? So that's the thing. So I make
Okay.
the cleansing
No.
super fast.
Okay.
The
It's
steam.
not-
No. I have nothing about like, oh, let's
Yeah.
make it so nice. Like you're
You're
trying. It's
cleansing.
like a surgery. You know, you
Yes.
just gotta like clean it up and get it out. You know. And the more extractions you do, obviously the better. There's
Right.
a little bit more downtime. But your job really is to get the extractions out. So if you think you're going to have a lot of time, you need a lot of time for extractions, I limit the steam 5 minutes and then I start because 10 minutes of it is not going to make much of a difference. Yes, unless you only want to spend like 10 minutes on the extractions. But I think the extractions are a big part of it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I try to get that steam in within like the first 2 minutes. That's why I try when I before I even go up front, I turn this on so it's
Okay.
already ready. I try to get this already turned on so it's ready, because
Can I just see? So this you just turn.
push up. Yeah,
Oh.
and that's it. I know. Once I'm gonna show you how to do it one more time. Let's just do it one more time. So
And the water for the steamer.
I
know
usually
these
keep
are
it under
stupid
here.
questions.
No, no,
If
no.
I don't
but
ask, I'll forget.
If you look
Okay.
under my drawer, I usually have it all in here, and then I'll show you the stock room is a big thing, and then you can find anything you want in that stock room.
Gloves.
Let me see if I can find somebody to do a facial real quick. Let me just see real quick, because that's like easier when you can actually do it. Hold on.
Now, do you think people prefer you to use the extractor? Like in your, I know.
No,
it's
I think
okay.
it's however you want to do it. They don't know. They don't know what you're using. Some people are like, oh, what tool did you use? And I'll say, I have just Q-tips, because I think it's so painful.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing?
Right.
And I'll just say, it's just Q-tips. You know,
Okay.
but it is really painful for them. It's like one of the worst treatments out of all the treatments that I do. The acne facial, I think, hurts the worst.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're like really sensitive. You know, just their confidence, all of it. It's a whole big thing.
And I was thinking about this when I was shadowing Val because like my whole life was like cystic
Oh.
and horrible. So it's like I would see these like young
Yeah.
girls coming out like I never met, you know,
Yeah.
still like I
Yeah.
that feeling where it's just like
Yes. So that's what they come in like.
You
So
know.
your job is to try to like clean it up, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be like, oh my god, like it's crazy, like how amazing it is.
what about cystic? You don't
No,
touch
you
that.
don't touch it. Most
Okay.
likely, if they have cystic, you know, they have other things going on, but I usually don't touch it because it's not going to do anything. There's
No.
nothing to touch. It's too painful. You can't get anything out. It needs to be injected. So
Okay.
sometimes I'll say, if I feel like something that's really cystic, I'll say, hey, you should go and see the doctor. Maybe they can inject it for you. It's just the insurance, whatever their insurance is, the copay for that.
Okay.
All right, let me go see if I can find
Yeah,
someone to
yeah,
do
yeah.
it. Let's see what we can find. Yeah, yeah, read over, look over. Oh, you're gonna be good. All right. This is Layla. Hi. This is Rebecca. All right. This is our patient here. So usually, I don't know if I have any blue bonnets in my. I don't. So I'm not gonna be able to cover her hair. Hold on a second. Not to worry though. No, you can do however. No, they don't see what you're doing. All right, so let's do a quick little facial here so you can get the idea of what we're going to do. So first, I take this cup, it's a liter cup. All right, so take your cup. Yeah. Yeah. You don't really need a lot of anything. Not the softening gel, yeah. Yeah. You could do that, or you could do whatever you want to do. It's however you like it, you know? Yeah? Oh, it's just like a little hot thing, a little warm up. Just be careful your hand doesn't get burned like that. Yeah. Put that in. Now, what I usually do for her is I'm going to just kind of do a little quick clean while she is just, you know, lying here. Such a good little patient you are, Layla. So I wipe just gently. This should be warm now, so I just kind of mix up. So like right, and you can do however, but this is easy. You can put the softening gel now. So you do like 2 of those. The enzyme here. So I do like a quick, you know how to do the washing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should move this camera over. I don't know if I can really adjust this.
Get my good angle.
I'm gonna get a good angle here so Brooke is proud. Okay, this is good. All right, so after we, I do the cleansing, good. Answer, let's get that off. And then I take my 2 of these, dip.
Okay, so that's where you alright.
And then I wipe. I move the camera so we can see what we're doing, right? I did a good job.
Okay, so good. You have some coffee too.
Thank you. Okay, so she's all nice and clean. Now we can do this. Can I set it? You put it first. I always dip it into the hot water first. Go ahead.
Thumbs up, but
Yeah, that's fine. Good enough. So. Okay, and then you just kind of spread it on, and you see how the steamer is already ready?
yeah.
Perfect
Will
timing.
you lift it up or not? Like,
Whatever you want. However you
I
want.
know,
Just
I'm
'cause
like being.
the thing is, it's just
nervous
going to
and
be wet, so you want to make sure you don't drip anything on, but feel free to do however you want to do it.
And then you just literally put it all over.
Mhm. Have it touch her face or no?
Am I making it like too?
Yeah,
Solid.
no worries. And most people that have come in for these have never had a facial before.
Okay.
And they're usually young kids. 90%. So then sometimes while I'm even doing that, I just don't even like to waste time. So I just put the steamer on.
Automatic.
Even when as soon as that steamer comes on, I put on, even if I'm just washing their face,
It's
I put
on.
the steamer on
Okay.
because it's just, you don't have much time to get to the job. So my thing is just trying to get as fast as I can, as much steam as I can put on there as I can.
Marina is Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, you. Okay.
Yeah. So then as they're steaming, that's when I clean everything up.
You tell me, like, can I do
So,
a bit more?
did you-
additionally?
No, you're doing good. Did you clean this out with this?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Okay.
Like that?
Yeah.
You did it? Okay.
And then
That's good.
afterwards, do I rinse?
Yes,
Okay.
always rinse it. You don't want any of that calcified left in there.
Okay.
I put it like kind of like on here just so it doesn't leak everywhere, and I do the same for this one. How's the steam? So I always ask, people don't like to steam, and so sometimes what I do too, when they are steaming, I try to cover their eyes just to like not get it all over,
Okay.
just so the, you can go like this. You can use this one and wet it and then kind of twist it, however you feel like you want to do it. All right, we're gonna move this along. Okay, we're good. Done with the steam. Oh, look at that label. All right, so then I take this. Sometimes I just kind of start wiping a little bit here just to get some off, just so I don't like to waste so much stuff. It's weird not having any patients like waiting for me.
Right? Sure.
Okay.
Thank you for doing this.
All right. Do one last cleanup. And then this is where we start with the extractions.
Yay.
Now Layla is working, so I don't want to kill her. I'm going to just do what I can here.
I need to convince Dr. A to give me Spiro.
Oh, well, come on. Should I put a little good word in for you?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so now I get the gloves.
It's actually a good time I started breaking out like
Oh,
over
it's
here.
perfect. Alright, so I get my lamp. Turn on.
Okay.
I have my glasses. I usually use the glasses, but you can ask if you like that other kind of what's the round one. If
Yeah.
you want that, get that. I don't really
You like the
that one.
glasses?
I don't really like that, but you get
Here,
whatever
I'm
you
gonna
like.
your way.
Okay, now you can just kind of watch a little
Yep.
bit, and then you'll see how I do it. On that side. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
See, I like. So I always like pull to get really right under it. See how you get under it?
Yeah.
It comes right out, but it's like
Yeah.
gentle.
Yeah. It's not harsh at all.
Mm-hmm. Now these like hurt, you see, because they're like, you see how it's really red.
Right.
So you have to really be careful. Oh, thank you. And even when you think you don't see anything, there's something under there. So that's why it's good to like pull. You see how I pull it taut?
Yeah. And you can see.
Mm-hmm. But she's got a little ones, but still you want to get them out because they can cause bigger ones. You see how it comes out?
Yeah, it's coming out nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is the present for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Marina,
Yes, thank
do
you.
you want also?
Yeah, I'll take them. Is that the one that, oh yeah, that's the one with the light, right? This is the one that,
It's the same. It's not too much.
oh yeah, they put them together. Oh, they have all different lenses. This is good for an old lady.
If it's good, I can order more. So let me know if this is something
Okay.
that you like to get.
Well, I know Channing wants one. Renee.
So let me order more.
Okay.
I order more. This seems to be good.
You see how they just come right out?
Yeah.
So the more that you do it, the more, practice and now you see this one, this is just red, it's like just hyperpigmentation, so you're not going to touch that. But anything that has like, that looks like there's something, you're going to try to get it out. And sometimes I have to go back over it to make sure I get all of it out. And in a couple days, all of this is going to be clearer and less bumpy. That's the goal. So I already went to this one, but I know there's still more in that one. So more will still keep coming out. So these are like underneath. We're gonna try and get these out. There we go. And then here's another.
So you're just going under with your Q-tips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's the better way to do it. And you're gonna have so many different skin issues, Like you're gonna have so many different types of acne. So for you, what you should kind of learn on your own is just all the different types of acne. Because not all of them look like this,
Right.
Some people just have all these crazy bumps underneath their skin. And it's like, first you see them, they're like, there's nothing there. And then once you get closer, and you pull their skin apart a little, it's just all deep bumps under the skin. and you have the ones just super active acne where you can't even touch it because it's so sore.
Yeah.
And you have a combination of all of it. So it's kind of like just good. But if just get the bigger things, see how they handle it. And if it's like really inflamed and bleeding, you just stop, wipe, ice, and they're good. They'll come back in 4 weeks, you know. So this is when I get the IntelliShade or whatever sunblock they like. These are the IntelliShade for you. I'm gonna see if someone else can do a facial, then you can do one.
Yeah.
And now I'll see what I can find. So then I usually say, 3 to 5 days. You don't have to use your medication tonight because your probably skin's a little too much. If it feels like you're okay and you want to use it tonight, you certainly can, but maybe just take a break from it and see how your skin feels. And you can start up again the next day. They should ice as much as they can. Usually they're, you see how she's like swollen a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, but this is actually a good one. This is actually looks good compared to like a lot of people when they come in. Her skin is really not terrible. It's just good to clean it out.
But it could be better.
It could be because I can tell Dr. A, because I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
All right, you're good. You made it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, God.
Please.